Willkommen, bienvenue, and welcome back to Opus Magnum Live with Light. I'm just getting it set up early. I'm actually going to practice a little bit of bass while people roll in. Just wanted to get everything up and running. Hey there, Win. How you enjoying the game? So you picked it up and started playing at least a little. Flame Tusk! Welcome to the stream. We're not going to start with the Opus Magnum just yet. I'm going to practice a little bit of bass while people roll in. So if you're here for the Opus Magnum, come back in about 12 minutes. If you want to listen to me practice the bass, feel free to stick around. And anybody watching the VOD, feel free to jump to about 12 minutes in if you don't feel like listening, be noodling about on this thing. And feel free to chat in the chat. I can still see it. I can still respond. And while I'm playing, well, I'll try to respond as best I can. Time to get to my score for stabilized water. Good old tutorial. Stepdad plays the bass. You play the piano. Awesome. Yeah, I'm not particularly good at the piano. I had lessons on it for a couple of years. And I'm just not all that great. Is the bass getting picked up all right? I know it's a little weird in some of the episodes, and I don't know how well it picks up in this particular configuration, because I have it set up slightly differently when recording. And there isn't a whole lot I can do about the volume except just playing louder. Got my score for area and cost, can't figure out how to get the minimum cycles. Yeah, there are a lot of little tricks, like grabbing early and using tracks and those sorts of things for getting the job done really fast. But yeah, just look at how far the last thing takes to get to the exit. And that's usually a good sign for getting rid of the last couple of cycles. And if there's any time between input grabs, that's another thing that'll lose you tons of time. Trying to look up what the term is for the period before a player show starting, something before most people's time here. So, the time before a play starts. Well, because the music before a play starts, well, a prelude's not exactly the right word for it. Pieces that flow. Samarkand. Ah. Nice. Yeah, I mean, prelude is kind of the right word, but it's not exactly the right one. I'm trying to think, because I've done enough musicals. Overture, yes, overture is the word you're looking for. Ooh, that was an interesting effect there. Because we're getting the sympathetic vibrations. Ooh, that's on the bottom string? Wow. That's a lot of sympathetic vibrations from the low E string. Wow. Hey, I'm Vids. First time catching the stream. Well, the stream hasn't quite started yet. I'm just practicing the bass while everybody shows up. I would take requests if I was any good at it. But for now, I'm just going to play some scales, scales, intervals, practicing my shifting and whatnot. And my intonation, because this is a fretless bass. First time at one of my streams. Well, welcome to the both of you. Wonder if people would tolerate overtures nowadays? I mean, it's better than advertisements. People sit through those stuff before movies all the time. And, you know, videos. Ah, Portal 2. Who plays Portal 2 on YouTube? Because I recently saw Problems IRL playing Portal 2 with Mousley on Twitch. LB. Not sure I know who that is. Zaruk, first time on the stream. Question about Opus Magnum. What is Sigmar's Garden? It's a solitaire game where you try to get rid of all of the marbles. You try to match each of the base elements with itself or a salt. You match the metals with quicksilver, but you have to do it in order. From, let's see, lead to tin to iron to copper to silver to gold. But gold, you don't have to match with anything, you just take it off the board when it's ready. But the important part is that whatever you try to take off has to have 3 adjacent empty spaces, like 3 empty spaces adjacent in a line that are also adjacent to the thing you're trying to remove. It's hard to describe that exact part. So I'll show that when we start going in 4 minutes. Not very well known, but becoming more popular, does map requests, doesn't like puzzle games with multiple solutions, though. Oh, I love multiple solutions. So while Sigmar's Garden is in this game and uses the same marbles, it's not this game. It's a whole nother game entirely. Turbo Slice! He's back! The man behind the mask! Actually, I don't wear a mask, but I like that song! I don't know its name. Oh well, sad times. Love multiple solutions. Your solution for one last infinite factory levels lags the PS4. That's pretty impressive. That is pretty impressive. So, have any of you actually watched any of the base videos besides Mac? Can feel how each what can have their own characteristics? Loving the game. Instead of going for the most efficient solution, you just go for crazy Rube Goldberg machines. That is also perfectly valid strategy. Seemed like the first three of the rest saving for when you get to your brother's base. Ah, yes. But it is now 6:30. You get a feel for why each guitar can have their own characteristics. Indeed, there's a lot of things that go into being a luthier, and there are plenty of reasons why any given instrument could be very different from the next. But also, why a given player will still sound like themselves on all the different instruments. Okay, so there's a question about Sigmar's Garden. So here we are. It's a solitaire game, and you're here trying to get rid of all these things. Coax the word out, autocorrect, and it failed. Instrument! Indeed. So, goal is get rid of everything. You can match elements with themselves. You can match elements with salt. You can match quicksilver with a metal. But you have to do the metal in order. Ah, you got lost. I do sometimes go too fast, and I think I'm doing it for beginners, but sometimes I'm wrong. Okay, so here we are, and we have a bit of a conundrum. Because we need to get to this lead right here, which would tempt us to get rid of this blue with this salt. But do we really want to? Well, I mean, it would get us this green with that green, which could cause a chain reaction. Is there any other option? Because if we went this way, we could get rid of this air with that air, but then we're going to have a problem. So yes, we're probably going this way. And we need to get rid of the green. And now we've got our lead with our quicksilver. We desperately want to get rid of this one because it's blocking off the silver. And so we're going to need to deal with that or approach the silver from this direction. Either way, we're going to have to approach the tin from the left because we're not getting to it from the right. So we should push our way this way. And by the time we get here, we'll probably end up using this quicksilver for the tin. Is there any other quicksilver we might be able to get to? Here's one on the interior. Here's one on the interior. And there are these two. So the odds of us getting to any different quicksilver before that lead, highly unlikely. So we go with that. And then you're presented with a bunch of choices. Do you go for the airs? Do you go for the fires? Well, the fires open up more airs. So, yeah, the airs can probably wait a moment. Unless, of course, we want to save these fires for getting rid of these fires. Which also seems rather reasonable. So after tin, we're going to want to go for iron. Probably coming in this way. So we're going to want probably this life for this death. And then we need a death for this life. Probably the one by the tin, because iron is right after it. And then copper will work our way in that way. Seems good. So we're probably actually going to hit this air first. Which one do we want to get rid of? Probably this one. Possibly that one. Probably this one, though. And then we'll work on getting rid of these fires, because that'll open up this blue, which we can use over here, which opens up another blue. We can leave this blue one here because it's not really going to be locking anything. So we'll use these. And then get rid of these. Okay, now we're making progress. Do we want to get rid of both of these airs and leave this guy here? Seems fairly reasonable. Except now we don't have any greens. So we're going to have to salt a green and then salt another green later. Use this blue. Now we get our tin. Was this the quicksilver we wanted for it? Probably. Probably. Okay, we've got all 4 deaths showing. Brilliant. Let's see. To get to the iron, we're gonna need to get rid of this water. Likely with salt, because we have to. We have to use salt on that. Okie dokes. Gonna salt the water. To get to the water, we need to get rid of this. We've got 2 life available, so we'll use that and that. But now we need to get to a quicksilver. We could use this one. Or we could use this fire to get to that one. Well, regardless, let's use this fire to open that up. And then our other quicksilvers here, we've got enough death showing. So that'll be fine. So we'll use this guy here. We'll open this guy up. Take out copper, take out the silver, take out the gold. Clear these because they're not a problem. And now we lose. Because we can't match this salt with one of the greens. And if we match it with the air, we've still lost. Alas! We got close to winning, but we didn't quite make it. And that's this game. You can make really good choices and then it just doesn't quite work out. Or you can make something that looks like a good choice and learn it and lose in the 3rd turn. Or make a really dumb choice and still end up winning. It's a sign of a good solitaire game. You can know all the rules, you can know the strategies, and still back yourself into a corner. So, if there are any of you who don't want the plot spoiled for you in this puzzle game, close your ears now. Just take a little break. I'm going to tell people the story so far because they might have missed chapters 3 and 4, which I likely did when they weren't watching, but I'm going to go through the whole thing. So, at the very beginning, we just graduated from alchemy school. We then get hired by an old money family. We make a whole bunch of stupid, frivolous things because they are old money. They want face powder. They want to seal their boats. They want to fuel their airships. And they've got an heir named Frederick who is not particularly useful. So we need to help him out too. Then, well, there's some new money, or at least a young member of an old money family, who's like, I don't want to deal with that old money family anymore. I'm going to destroy them. And I, as the alchemist, want to make things to protect us, but it's too late. So we send up the surrender flare. We surrender to House Colvin. Our entire house is destroyed. And thus, I end up on the streets. Well, you don't have a lot of alchemy supplies on the streets, so we take alcohol and turn it into the various elements that we need and purify the water such that we can drink it. And then we hire a thief to get us some lead. So we use our various things at our disposal to make things that will help the thief in this job because, well, it's tons of lead that he's heisting, needs all the help he can get, and ends up floating it down the river on a barge to us. Then, our good friend Clara Soria, who was actually intended to be married to Frederick, shows up at our door. Turns out she is now promised to the head of House Colvin, who just conquered our old house and killed Frederick. Well, it turns out she actually liked him because he was the only person who was nice to her. And so she wants to destroy House Colvin for killing Frederick. And so we are more than happy to join in her revenge scheme. And so we take our lead ore and purify it into real lead. We create a stain remover such that they don't know she's been out. We develop a super awesome sword for her to show off to her new husband. Invisible ink for writing fancy invisible love letters. And we once again get to make gold. This one is special because it is my record for the longest cyclage solution. 1,799 cycles. Hello, Power Flash! Finally, a night without work. It's all right that you're not here. Everybody's got things they gotta do. Then she needs a fancy jewel for her tiara, and we're making golden thread to weave her dress out of. That's right. A dress made of not strictly solid gold. Gold. And it turns out she found us via the thief that we used in the previous chapter. And now we are on chapter the 5th. And so here is where we're going. We are setting up our plot to bring down House Colvin. And yes, I would be more than happy to show you that purified gold 1,799 cycle solution. And the beauty of it is it's tiny. It uses 10 area for these almost 1,800 cycles. Tiny little solution. And it would be smaller if I didn't have to store the intermediate products. It's tiny, it's cheap, and it turns a lot of lead into a little bit of gold. And it makes a really ominous noise when it upgrades the metal. Have fun catching up, Dragon. What the heck is that glyph? Yeah, later on, so after you end up on the streets, you don't have Quicksilver for changing your metals. And so you have to use 2 of the same metal to upgrade that metal. So you have to try and understand how this game works. Okay, so the fundamentals of this game are you have inputs, and you need to make outputs. The rest is up to you. Well, you've got tools for getting you from the inputs to the outputs, of course. But how you get from your inputs to your outputs is solely up to you. They have some leaderboard type histograms that give you a sense of how yours compares to other people's solutions. But if you don't care about other people's solutions, you can make whatever you like. Like, if you like the sounds these things make, you can make a musical solution. If you like things that are fast, you can make them go fast. If you like things that are complicated, you can make all sorts of whirly gigs. If you like them small, like this one. I mean, this takes a long time to get the job done. That is 3 out of the 6 products. But it's really tiny. And I love the idea that it's so tiny but takes forever to get the job done. And it's cheap. It's just got the 2 little arms and the glyph. And you need the glyph to get the job done. And due to the nature of the glyph, you can't get it done with just 1 arm. More or less how you like. If you look at the bottom here, these are the instructions that I've given it for getting the job done. This one is absurdly complicated. There are tons of instructions that you have to give it, and you have to copy them. And the instruction set on this one is very long because, I mean, almost 1,800 cycles, it only loops 6 times. Because it makes 6 gold from this. So it can't cycle more than 6 times to make that happen. And so over those 1,800 cycles divided by 6, that's about 300 cycles worth of instructions. Whereas other ones have a loop that's only 4 long. The goal of the game is to make the well, actually, it's the quote-unquote best, no quotes, program. Because it is a program. You are a programmer in this. And there we are. That's how long it takes to make 6 tiny little things of gold. But it's super cheap, super small. Whereas Bells is another solution to it, which is super quick. It's harder to tell how it looks on here than it does on my laptop because my laptop has higher resolution. But you can see here a bell, and you can see here a bell, and they're tied together. Hey, you can think it's Christmas, and they're tied together with a bit of holly. But here, we've got some looping, and some looping, and looping, and then this delayed stuff is all the way at the end. Because it takes lots of lead turning into tin, turning into iron, turning into copper, into silver, into gold to make this work. But instead of doing it slowly in series, we do it relatively quickly in parallel because we start with 4 lead sources. And yes, if you do a GIF, it zooms out. That much I know. And I did test that if you make it absurdly huge, it zooms out absurdly far. And so we get it down to 112 from 1,800. But yeah, these inputs you can grab out of them every 2 cycles. So these are going back and forth, pulling out as fast as you're able from these lead sources. So trying to get this result any faster would take a bit of a miracle. I originally started trying to make the Christmas tree, but it was too difficult to get the 2 iron from the tops of these to the middle to get to the next thing for the copper. And so I made fancy bells. And so 2 drastically different solutions to the same problem. If you share programs with this game's communities, what would make programs stand out from others? Certain things are more elegant, like certain solutions are more elegant. Aren't they all doing the same thing? Kind of, yes. That there are certain things that once you get to optimality, they will look very, very similar. So, for example, the airship fuel, the optimal solution will very often look like Monarch here. Because you kind of have to pull it down the line through these things into the goal. However, depending on how you set up these tracks, it might be more expensive or it might be cheaper. Despite still being 19 cycles, it might cost $470 or $550. And so there might be some little elegant solution that helps you to bring down the cost while keeping the cycles the same. Or compacting it down so it takes less area. Or you could look at it and go, sure, that's fine, but it would be even better. You just add 1 cycle to it, but you make it significantly cheaper and significantly smaller with this solution. So you sacrifice 1 cycle for, let's see, sacrifice 1 cycle for 17 area and 35 gold. Can you quote unquote win the game? Absolutely. And you don't even have to be good at it. Here's chapter 5. You just need to go through it. Do the rest of these. You'll complete the story mode. And then you can go to the workshop and get even more. And you could go into the puzzle editor and make your own and share it with the community and see how they can do with your fiendish puzzle. And you upload it to the Steam Workshop and you can add little stories to it and gussy it up however you like. The difficulty with having quote-unquote best solution is because, sure, you can optimize cycles or you can optimize either of the other 2. The trouble is no one really agrees on which one's the most important, and some people feel like with this airship fuel, with the difference between Monarch and Fighter, I feel Fighter is a better solution despite it not being optimal in any of the 3 characteristics. And so then you could have community-wide debates on how you can quantify outside of just each individual criterion. Some combination thereof that tries to encapsulate a generically better solution. Man, keep asking questions. This game is interesting. It is. I like it. And it's already more than met my cost to enjoyment ratio. What did I eat this morning? I tend not to have breakfast. I really should, but I don't. Okay, so since most people here are new, is there anything in particular that you want to see? Because there's the stabilized water, which is the end of the tutorial. We've got refined gold, which is using quicksilver to get the job done instead of several of the same metal. The overall lowest for all 3, you cannot get optimal in all three. It's never going to happen. So how do you balance the different scale of cost versus cycles? Because cycles, you change by 1, cost, you change by a minimum of 20. No, I've actually played the game off stream because I really enjoy the game and I can't stream all the time. So there's all sorts of things from Chapter 1, refined gold, face powder, waterproof seal, hangover cure, airstrip, fuel, precision machine oil, health tonic, stamina potion. All of these I've done videos on, so you can see them there if you haven't seen them. Chapter 2, we probably... I don't remember what we've done on stream. I think we started Chapter 3 on stream with alcohol separation and the water purifier. But we've got hair product, rocket propellant, mist of incapacitation, explosive vial, armor filament, which, oddly enough, is an infinite product. Quote unquote. And so you just keep adding to it and keep pushing it off the right side of the screen. And then it counts it up product-wise by how many segments of the product you have. Right, but like I was saying, the shift in cost is always going to be bigger than the shifts in area or cycles. So I do present my idea for how to balance that out and how to counteract the scales, but not everyone's going to agree with me. And nor should they. I mean, subjective math is weird. So yeah, armor filament, courage potion, which is, booze. Surrender flare, which is a beast. Rocky Banana, welcome to the stream. Bought the game and love it. It is a fantastic game. Rock on Zachtronics for making it. So yeah, this one's rough. Anytime you've got a really big input, you're going to run into trouble. Okay, so that's Chapter 2. And if there's anything you want to see, just shout it out. I'll be happy to show it. Sword Ally, Dark and Golden Thread are pretty fun. Yeah, I do like the infinite ones. So they found a way to find prime numbers using the Pythagorean theorem. That is pretty fun. I know that's one of the relatively standard ways of proving non-primality. Because if a certain thing happens, then it has to be composite. But the method that uses that for primality testing is not good enough. But it's good enough for demonstrating that something isn't prime. Showing something is prime is annoying, and factoring it is even worse. Alcohol separation, turning booze into things. This one looks real pretty. I like this one a lot. Is very pretty. And the fact that it's just like bang, 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 bang all the time. Also very nice. Yeah, the Van Berlo's wheel you might not have seen yet if you haven't gotten this far. It transforms salt into these materials. And in this problem, you can only have one. Copy and paste code. Kind of. If you've got a segment of code that you want to duplicate, you hold down Control and drag it over. And you now have a copy of that code. There is no Control-C, Control-V, so if you are bringing it somewhere that you can't see on the screen, you can't copy it. Whether it's to the right or down. It's kind of annoying. This guy right here reruns the previous instructions. So that can save you at least a little bit of copy and pasting. particularly when you've got things that don't run in the normal cycle. Water purifiers, another thing that's a little weird because you're making something really big. But one of the things I found is sometimes you want to bring extra resources away and then bring them back later to help speed up your process. And so we bring it out, and then we bring it back. Saves you some time. This one, I'm not entirely certain is actually optimal because of the 2 steps it takes right there at the end. Okay, but for the prime thing, if the 2 longest sides have a difference of 1, and the short side is an odd number that hasn't shown up as A or B, it's prime. What do you mean by A or B? Do you mean the 2 longest sides? And I take it you mean this is a right triangle, because you're talking Pythagoras. Let's see. Seal solvent. This one was really annoying to drop that last cycle. Hasn't. So are you working through? Okay, so are we assuming that A, B, and C are integers in this case? So you're working with purely Pythagorean triples. But yeah, getting rid of this one cycle, started with 52, got it down to 51, and then down to 50. Waste solution to the surrender flare. Yeah. 19 area. Climbing rope is another one that just pushes on over. This one is less interesting than the other 2. That is fair to say. Yeah, the latency issues. You can talk a whole lot faster on Mixer. Or at least here much faster. Do you not like the Mixer chat? Like, I'm always curious as to why people choose whichever system they like to use. Okay, so you're saying you really like the very dark thread. Okay. Yeah, YouTube is good for catching up. Oh yeah, if you're on an iPhone, the YouTube the Mixer app on iPhone is pretty good. On Android, it's not great. Also, don't really know what Mixer is. So Mixer is owned by Microsoft now and has sub-second latency. Disease called lazy. Yeah, if you're on Android and on a phone, wait 2 to 3 weeks before really trying to use the Mixer app because it's not quite there yet. Okay, so 64 cycles. I'm just estimating from the speed at which they've been making their improvements and the quality that I've seen so far. But yeah, if you're on a Windows machine watching it just online, it gives you sub-second latency. It's really quite nice. It always asks me to link my Microsoft account, which is kind of annoying, but I just ignore it. But having that super quick interaction, I love it. But YouTube, I've got that audience from various things, and so I just can't really part with it, at least not yet. So yeah, for my solution to this one, I go above and below with the iron and just push the salt straight across. Again, not certain of optimality because it is still a pretty decent walk for each thing from the input to the output. We could probably shave a couple more cycles off of it. Welcome back to Mixer Dragon. We're here looking at our very dark thread. Is very dark. And I love the rhythm on this one. It's not quite as awesome as the one airship fuel solution. I really should play that one for you guys. Ulrich, welcome back. How are you this fine evening? Yeah, airship fuel dance. I love this one. Probably wouldn't keep watching if I left YouTube, see how I start. I would still post announcements on YouTube, even if I went solely Mixer. Because it is great for letting people know ahead of time when I'm going to stream. Convince you trying to use Mixer. Hey, do you see how quickly I'm responding to you now? But yeah, I love the rhythm of this one. So it uses the two sewing machines and a solo solution over here. It just really bugs me that a solution that sounds like this probably isn't optimal. Like, I really want to make an optimal solution that sounds like this. But I don't know if it's possible because that irregularity tends to be a symptom of a problem. Okay, so that's Chapter 4. Was there anything up to this point that anybody wants to see? Chapter 4, 3, or 2, or 1? Or, heaven forbid, the tutorial! Yeah, it was a surprise. Still need you to know when you're streaming, of course. And yeah, modding is how a lot of people sub to me on YouTube. Hey, how Mr. won't use your Discord account because it has 3-letter non-unique name. Oh, I'm Vids. Thank you for accepting my duck. He should be by shortly. That is weird. Yeah, I don't know why it won't let you just use your Discord. Weird. So, if there's nothing anybody wants to see, we will push forward into Chapter 5. Why is my duck not being a duck? Hey, there's my duck. I really need to figure out why it takes so long for the duck to show up. And sometimes he just doesn't. Weird duck. Okay, so it doesn't seem like anybody wants to see anything in particular. Thought it was going to duck its responsibilities. Okay, so here we are, Chapter 5, Mist of Hallucination. When you first suggested getting a mannequin, I thought you were joking. I wasn't. It was useful for finishing Clara's dress, wasn't it? Yes, it was, but I hardly expect you to consider such matters. Now the dress is done, we could dispose of it. No, I have use for it just as soon as I finish this formula. Yeah, the duck is from Mario Maker things. I've said some weird things along the way, and some of them is stuck. One of them is, accept my duck! And the other is, examine butt with monocle. Should I be alarmed? No. Or maybe. Maybe, but only a little. I don't think I need a mannequin for the mist of hallucination. Oh. Well, that's pretty weird looking. Lead, tin, and a bunch of air. And we still have no quicksilver, so we're going to need 3 lead, 4 air. Yeah, the story for this is going to be a bit interesting. Yeah, if they need a mannequin for that, they're already hallucinating. It's possible that we'll need a sewing machine for this. The difficulty will be it swings things back and forth, and so it would be relatively difficult to get it to line up exactly right, but we'll give it a shot. So we know the basics of sewing machines. Oh, and they added a thing where you can use WASD while you're holding things to swing them around and extend them and contract them. So that helps a lot with some of these things. So yeah, for setting up a sewing machine, it's to the left, back, grab, right, back, grab, left, back, grab, right, back. So if we let this go, it'll just keep... Oh, right, we need a binder. Like so. Yeah, the lead is probably what causes part of the hallucination. Granted, I would use quicksilver, but we don't really have that on hand. And so here we have our 1, 2, 3, 4. The problem is it's facing the wrong way. So we need to have it go the other way around. I believe, like, this should do it. Yep, Mad as Hatter. Happy birthday, Ulrich! Didn't know it was your birthday. Did you tell me it was your birthday? I don't know if you did. Either way, happy birthday. Okay, so here we are with this. So we would want to grab it from here and swing it to the right. Grab, swing to the right. What? Oh, right. It would be later. 2, 3, 4. It would be over here. Now, unfortunately, this is not going to be optimal. I can tell you right now. What? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right here. Grab. Pull. Oh, right. But we can't pull it because we would need something to let go. Let's see. So we still need this one. Grab, pull. There we go. So we can look here to see where it was. And that means this goes here. And that's where we need our tin. But then we need our lead up there. And I don't know if this will hit that on its way in. No, it looks good. So we'll want to produce our lead up here somewhere. We'll need... Well, that's... mildly not great place for that. That should be reasonable. So we use that to bring down the tin. We'll have a thing swing the lead over. Should be fine. So we grab it, we swing, and then we track. Whoops, too far. Then we need to get a lead here and a lead there, which takes the one of these and the one of these. And then we'll have that in place there. We'll be holding it here. And so that will place the exit over here. Well, that's annoying. That's really annoying. Wait, that's not facing the right way. Like that. Here. Okie dokes. I believe that is our solution. It's not going to be optimal, I can promise you that, but it should be relatively quick. So we grab 1, 2, 3, 4. While that is going on, we want to do number 7 first. Grab, plus, swing, reset. Okay. Then number 8. Grab, right, reset. And then number 9, grab, push, reset. And then upon that completion, let's bring number 6 down here. We can grab it here, right, reset. Grab, swing, and then down here, swing. Good. That's number 5. So we swing it twice, and we're good to go. Oh, we're a little early on that lead. Can we delay that lead any? Well, we could probably delay the whole thing 2 cycles. Oh, not quite. Can delay the whole thing 1 cycle. Is that enough? Brilliant. And there we are, 52 cycles. Have you ever played Thalmcraft? Indeed I have. Researching on that desk, scanning things with your thermometer. Yeah, we are pretty close to this bottom rung, but I can see a clear problem with it. And we'll go back into it after we listen to the story. During the battle with House Colvin, created a mist intended on making outposts inaccessible, even if we could not adequately defend them. I remember that. Are you planning a similar strategy? Something like that. The enclosed environment here is a better place for it anyway. Still can't imagine delaying someone for long. It's not really for delaying. We should be long gone before anyone gets here. You have a more obscure purpose in mind. I do. You'll see. And the mod's add-ons? Not really. Like Kami and those, I didn't really get into those. Admiral Mordred Slice. That's quite the name you got there. Grown to strongly dislike Thaumcraft since it's so utterly overused. Yeah, that is one of the troubles with making something awesome. Everyone uses it, and then everyone despises it. Okay, so what should we call this one? Let's call it So Soon. Okay, the problem with this one is that the bottleneck is not up here. It's not the lead that's slowing us down, it's the air. And so our last air comes out, gets grabbed, and then moved twice. And that's too much. All it should take is for it to come out and then be dragged and dropped. Almost definitely, that's all we want to happen. So what we need is for something to already have a hold on one of these airs or one of these metals prior to the last air being input. I loved Ars Magica. It doesn't get used a whole lot. I doubt that the global leaderboard has a combined metric because it'll likely just give you the scores people have achieved on those three, but I still haven't unlocked it yet, so I don't know. But yes, for getting the fastest solution, we're going to need to make it such that we have a hold on this prior to the last one being generated, such that we can just grab it and drop it. That should drop 2 or 3 cycles from it. And then it'll be good to go. Do you want me to make a small solution for this or push forward in the story such that we might get the global leaderboard tonight? What do y'all think? So we have a vote for pushing forwards. Push, push, push. And we do need to leave a little bit of time for the YouTube folks. It is a little slow over there. Fine either way. Vote for nothing is okay. One-arm solution would be nice. Okie dokes. Flame Tusk leaning towards pushing forwards. So if we've got time, we'll come back and do the one-armed bandit of this. It likely would be an arm and a track. Yeah, the trouble with Ars Magica was it wasn't 100% finished, and so it had some issues with the boss fights working properly. It might be better now. It's been a long time since I played. But yeah, for now, we're going to push forward. We'll come back to that one, possibly. I used to believe that alchemy could solve any problem. And you don't believe this any longer? Not at all. Look at all the good my alchemy has done thus far. Perhaps you picked the wrong problems to solve. The university has this sense that nothing is beyond alchemical science. By learning to practice alchemy, you're achieving total mastery over the world. It is an appealing viewpoint. Appealing, but wrong. It updated quite a lot? Well, that's good, because I know it was abandoned for a while. Glad somebody picked it up. Oh my goodness. Look at this beast. Wow. Is huge. No. Vasky's always been doing Botania. People might have forked it, but Vasky's almost all has been working on Botania and Quark. So yeah, we got this monster. So what we're going to build is these things and attach them on. This is going to be very similar to this guy. And so this is my tiny solution for this one. Oh, yeah. Someone might be pushing features into older versions. That sounds like something that could very definitely happen. AE2. I kind of like the original AE better, but I didn't do a whole lot with the new one. And by new one, it's probably quite old by now. But yeah. I love the little buzzsaw thing it does at the end of this one. And okay, so making this ridiculously huge thing. So we're going to have a gold. We're going to have this guy. And then we need something to attach the previous to the next. It's kind of like a saw blade. That is why I called it buzzsaw. Let's see. So if we have our solution here, we're going to want to build it over here. And we're going to want it on a thing such that we can spin it around. Now, do we pull the gold from here? Will it? Nah, it should be fine. And then we'll build the things in from over here. So we will definitely need to attach the things to the gold here. What is the product again? This giant thing is a timing crystal fragment. I don't know what that means or why we're making it. Okay, and then we'll have a 1, 2, 3 that we are creating, and we only have a single salt input. The annoying bit of this is you don't have a double or triple binder that is that shape. We've only got this multi-binder, so we're going to have to bind it one way and then the other. We're probably going to bind these first, and then we can bind these over here. Yeah, probably a time bomb for the hallucinationist. Miss your second monitor, can't be watching and playing. Oh. Yes, quartz crystal timing. Not certain the purpose of the gold. It's likely for conducting whatever sort of anything is going on. But yes. Okay, so it goes across and then comes in like that. So we need to bind this first, and then we can bind the last one in there. So we'll put this here. Which way do... Oh, but we need to remember that it's going to be completely full when we get here. So we will likely want to bring these in this way. Shabam. So potentially bind them here. Grab, put, grab, push, slam, grab, slam. Okay. So we'll need one here. We need to do binding here. And so we'll need a guy that can grab, shift, and drop. And we'll need a guy to push. Ooh. But we probably want... Well, no, because we'll have a little time. Because we'll slam this over here as this one's coming out. Yeah. Calcify the gold to make it faster. You cannot calcify gold. You can only calcify the base elements. You cannot calcify metal. Or else we could make it faster by using the gold for that. Okay, so first, second, third. So number 2 is third. So grab, slam. And number 2, grab, push, push, drop, grab, push. Wait, we need a thing to put it in place. Grab, push, drop, grab, slam, drop, grab, slam, drop. Okay. And the overall cycle is 8 long? 6 long. 6 long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, that should be good. Yeah, one's going to repeat far less. We're going to repeat these guys a lot. I just want to... 5, you're going the wrong direction. And number 4, you are going the wrong direction. Oh, was afraid of that. 5 can happen 1 tick sooner. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Okay, so we move this guy up here and hope for the best. Okay. So yes, 1 does not reset. It doesn't even let go. It waits until here, and then it rotates here. And there we go. Can make little triangles of salt and then bottom of gold and just rotate the thing into gold. You think? That is exactly what is happening. Now, all we have to do is this. And now we've got a second cycle, but it did not line up properly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. For a second, you thought the extended part of the arm could actually grab items too. Turns out it was just bonded. Need caffeine. Indeed. Ooh, something went too soon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's the nature of debugging. You do something and it doesn't work, and you go, curse you, existence! And you rejigger because it doesn't do what you need. So, we can't swing a length 2 thing in. So we rejigger. We change what it's doing. Wait, one of those is still necessary. This guy goes away, this guy goes away. So instead, we'll do this, and this, and that. And now this swings that in, which should be fine. Could this be a piston? I guess. Which one? Because this is number 1, and that is not our problem. Because anything that we do with pushing it in and out is likely going to cause more problems than solutions. Okay, so number 3 gets it in here. Number 2 is not what we need. Probably could have just moved number 2 to here, but whatever. Actually, this might be a better plan. There we go. To get it here, and then we'll have this guy to get it on there, and now we delete all of these instructions. It wasn't strictly the gold that was the problem, it was the salt that we had just made. It collided right here when we tried to swing it in. And so, yes, you could pull it out of the way and shove it back in, but my personal aesthetic is against it. So I'm doing something crazy instead. Yes, you could. You could build the inner ring and then the outer ring. And likely you're not going to run into too many problems with it. It's just the programming for that will be more annoying because you have to do the program for the inner ring and then the program for the outer ring. Okay, so which thing happens first? First is 4, then 3, then 2. So 4, then 3, then 2. So we grab, we push, we reset. We grab, we pull, we shove on over, and then we reset, which is too long, so we'll make a loop. And then we grab, go to the right, and reset. So this, unfortunately, takes 8, and we only want it to take 6. So we loop it around, and we make another one. And so we change that to this. We get rid of those. We've moved 2. We need to move 5. 1, 2, 3. So now it's an 8. But we want it to be 12. We are building both rings at the same time. So we're going to take this, and it repeats after 6. So 2, 4, 6. And then this guy repeats after 6. This guy repeats after 6. And the cycle length is 12. So grab these, shove them over here. But we can move them here such that they move at the same time, and we position it 2 from there, but we also need to remember that it pulls in, so it has to push out at some point as well. Let's see. So I pushed these 2 into the future. Let's push out prior to them. Okie dokes, let's see what we've got. Wait, what? What even just happened? We put 3 in the wrong place. It's 4 that needs to be 1, 2 away. Okay. And 2 away. I've ever had the pain of trolls ruining my stream. I've had trolls show up, but they tend not to ruin things. They just want attention. And when I'm nice to them, they start being nice. Oh, who grabbed that at the same time? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, right. We need to fix the clock. And right. That is problem. So we do that again. And it should work just fine. Brilliant. So we've got 2. Now all we have to do is repeat it 2 more times. So we take our V. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. V. And this one starts at the same time. And then we delete this. And here, and here, and here, here. So that'll have 4. And then we put the clock here. And something isn't quite lined up right. So, grab, grab, grab. Let's watch. See what happens. So 3 and 4 are good to go. That pushes. 3 grabs and pulls. 5 grabs and twists. So now we should have 2, but 4 is happening 1 too soon. Oh, I also know the other problem. We need to have this guy here. And we need to have it grab and do the twisting instead. Because we need, number 1, raring to go on the next cycle, or the next loop. Okay, 1, so 2, 3, 4, 5. And then here, we turn to the right and reset. Here, probably there. We'll see. Sadly, there's trolls for them. That's not the best way of handling things on a chat site called whatever that is. There's a ban of hating troll to force everyone to let him do whatever he wants by spamming rooms till they die. Yikes. Yeah, not every troll is the same, and you can't deal with them the same. And I have not experienced very many trolls at all. It's just the couple that I have were rather clearly just attention seeking. And so... oh, something. Okay, so this one's too early, which means this one's too early. Let's see. And now that's in the way. Of course that's in the way. Why wouldn't it be in the way? Also, we didn't finish all the bonding. Well, we've got plenty of room over here. Let's see if that helps. But we also have a problem with the second bond of the system. Is this where it is? No, it's here, which is really annoying. Okay. So that would mean it's here? Yeah. Is there any other way we could do this? We could use a multi-binder here, but that'll change where this goes. And I can't really afford to take more than 2 steps there. I don't troll on Discord. They would make a new account, change IP address, and keep trolling the place. Yeah, Discord is one of those places where you just can't keep people out. But if we bind it here, we'll have to send it all the way around again. You have to turn the leaderboard on in the options menu. It's right here. Web spinner indeed. Okay. Crystal open. So if we try to use the multi-binder here, it could save a little bit there, but I don't know. Because the buzzsaw method is going to waste time at the end. See, we just have that one thing. So what do? We take it one further away. And we bind it here, and we waste one cycle. So probably not optimal. Did that change my cycle length? No. Good. So probably not optimal, but yeah, probably good enough. Yeah, it's the open server, which is what you kind of want. Oh, no. Now these are too close. So we take it even further away. And then we rotate these. I don't know where. Yeah, let's just bring it up there and see where they need to be. Okay. 1, 2. There we go. Actually, we can just drop it, and we can use one of these, and we'll be good to go. What? Oh, right, we didn't. That's why we need to swing it sooner. Here. Yeah, the table flip mode on the server settings. Oh, right. Wait, what? Why? What? Oh, it wasn't accurate. What was wrong with it? How did that happen? There's an extra bond. How did that happen? Okay, that's accurate. Accurate. Perfect. Perfect. Still perfect. Oh, there's the problem. So we can't do this harebrained scheme. Okay. So we fix it down here. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this and replace it with a multi-binder. I said multi-binder. We will get rid of this loop. We will add a piston right here. And so we will also add a piston here. Swap their order. 2 multi-binders? Not sure that's necessary. Okay, so 2 pushes first, and then 6 grabs it and pushes it. So 6 should actually be here. Pushes it twice, but delays on the second push, and then resets. Grabs, pushes, resets. Probably delays here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is too long because it'll need to do its job again before then. So we're going to be wasteful and put in another piston as well. Okay, so this should... something's having issues. Who's having issues? 3 grabs third. 2 grabs first. 5 grabs second. Too many things. Oh, 6 should be grabbing here. There we go. And now we put in the reduplications. Brilliant. Reduplicate all the way down. Just like the turtles. What does Opus Magnum mean exactly? It's a great work. It is your great work, usually meaning your life's work. Looks like a glorious cluster. Indeed it does, Amshagar. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Okay, so that does all those things. We need to rotate it 1 further and then spin it out. So, like so. That might be too soon, but we'll see. Oh, there's a problem. Binds too soon. Why has it always got to bind too soon? We don't have any way of swinging it farther, so a lot of that was for naught. Okay, let's see how well this still functions. Still functions. Brilliant. So, I believe if we do that, it should be fine. I didn't want to have to do it, but at this point, we've exhausted other options. We can do that here, I think. A little early there, bucko. Yeah, the final connections are still going to be the issue. We're going to have to add a little bit of time to it. Because we need... Because that's going to be 6 cycles that we're going to add to this. You're kidding me. How are you not out of the way? So we're going to slow it down there at the end to see if we can get away with moving anything any sooner. Okay, so bring it up, over, and in. We rotate it once. We rotate it twice. And then we leave. Man, that's going to be another 6 cycles if we delay it one more. And the only way to move it any faster would be to be holding it somewhere different. And since it was just moving, it would add that cycle anyway. Okay, we move it one more. We delay it one more. So that's probably going to be 12 cycles that we should be able to optimize out of this in the long run. What? The problem with trying to connect it while lifting it up was the top part overlaps with the part that you're trying to connect. So when you try to pull it out of the way and connect it in, you can't move the entire thing all in one rotation, and so it ends up connecting something it's not supposed to. There might be a way around that, but it was rather problematic in what we were able to do. Now, why did it break on the restart? What did not reset properly? This. That shouldn't matter. That shouldn't matter. Might matter. That's just fine. Could have used a debonder. I suppose. That might be the way we're going to end up having to do it. Yeah, unbonding it might be a way to go. Oh, right, I didn't spin it because the thing wasn't reset properly. So right now we're getting a solution that is pretty fun. I love the buzzsaw stuff. There we are, 230 cycles. Bottom bin, but not a great bottom bin. Rumpelstiltskin. Rumpelstiltskin. Sure of it now. Alchemists believe far too strongly in their own abilities. Perhaps you could inform your colleagues of this new conclusion. Ha, a quaint notion. They never let me lecture at the university, not in my state. It's not a message they'd want to hear. It's a shame. Outside views are important to consider. Outside views, yes. I'm quite far from the center of alchemical engineering today. Strange to think how quickly that happened. Perspective requires distance, doesn't it? Technically create both halves and then slam them together. Quite possible. Makes a stream player displays true when I hover over it with your mouse. Weird. Okay, so we're going to copy this, open it back up. And we will attempt the... bond-debond solution. Bond... Here, I don't have enough room. Right, because the center will be here. Let's just get to that point, then we'll have a reference. And we can move it at that point. Okay. So let's see whether or not we can bond it here and then debond all of the problems later. Because this is going to cause more problems. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this is going to cause a lot of problems, but they might be easy to systematically remove. Ah, you dirty rat. It's at a place where they're not easy to remove. Okay. So we move them here. Whoops. And then see what we get. Okay, so we missed. Let's try that again. Okay, so here we are. And once again, we broke it in a place that isn't easy to fix. Okay, so we'll put them back down here. Okay, so if we put it here and we add a track, now we're just asking for trouble. 2 slicers. And that's just a terrible idea. Because now we need to add a second one that loops around. So we'll just drop it off, we'll pass it off, and we'll call it a day, even though it's super suboptimal. Okay, so now we don't need this timer. Really need this game for yourself. Okay, so it did not crash. Brilliant. So now I believe we're asymptotically optimal. We just have a couple of extra steps here at the end that are no good. So for a final solution, we'll need to do even better. Have a good one, Vids. Thanks for being here. The trouble with grabbing it off center is the rotations. Because if you don't grab it by the gold, it wobbles as you spin it. Okay, so asymptotically optimal means as it runs to infinity, is it producing things as quickly as possible? So little vagaries in how it starts up and how it finishes off completely disappear. It only matters, are you generating a product every 2 cycles, every 4 cycles, every 6 cycles? How quickly does it work? I actually have a really good example for that one. Is it the water purifier? No. It's the surrender flare. So you've got hot dog, which is 25 cycles. You've got belt, which is 28 cycles. So you'd think they're not different, not very different at all. 3 cycles different, not different. But when you run belt, and then you let it run for a bit, and then you get here. So this is generating a product every 4 cycles. So once it starts going, drop, 2, 3, 4, drop, 2, 3, 4. Which is not as fast as hot dog, which generates one every drop. Right now, it's drop 2, 3, 4, because this part is still belt. But once we get the other pathway in, it's drop and drop and drop. Well, the drop. But it's still every 2 cycles you produce an output. And since you can produce things every 2, you can output every 2. This one is asymptotically optimal, but the number of cycles is not significantly different from one that is half of the asymptotic result. Oops. Okay. So there was something I was thinking about back in here. Don't remember what it was. I got distracted. But yes, the reason we grab by the gold here is such that we can spin it without it wobbling about. If you grab by any other atom, you can't spin it like this without running into yourself. So the reason I don't want to pull it away from here with another arm is because you'll lose a cycle grabbing it. But here we are having other issues with other cycles. So we could likely shave some cyclage off of this by removing it from this area differently. So instead of bringing it away with 6, grabbing onto it somewhere else, let's see. So it would reach to here. If we grab it here, that would put the new center edge 1, 2. And so the new exit would be there. How much more am I planning on doing this stream? Well, I'm planning on going until 9:30, so another hour and 20 minutes. Okay, so let's start. Ooh, right, we need to tell 7 to do something. 7 is doing something. Okie dokes. So here we are, once more. 6, what are you doing, 6? Stop that, 6. Let's see, you can let go here, which means you can grab there. Hopefully. It's actually perfect, gives you exactly half an hour to go to McDonald's after the stream ends. Nice. What? Oh, something's restarting. No restarting for you. You're in the time zone east of Central Time. Can't remember what it's called for the life of me. It's a good one. Oh, no. That one's in the way now. Okay. 5. You are now a piston. Five does not get there soon enough. Can we rotate later? Probably. I like the sound of it better already. Okay, 6. Well, you have the ability to move away, so you might as well do it. I was hoping 6 wasn't quite in the way. Ooh, okay. Oh, right. It doesn't need to be holding on at all during that point. So there you go. Don't know how you can program this so fast and keep things straight. You'd be making so many dyslexic mistakes. Thankfully, I don't have dyslexia. And after you play it quite a bit, you get more and more accustomed to visualizing this stuff. And this is not my first spatial programming rodeo. Okay, so here, and was it here? No. Here. Okay, 7 goes like so. Good. The reason I don't have arm 1 rotate it is for the sake of getting back to the gold to start the next cycle sooner. Because I want this gold going in as soon as possible. Yeah, and I have been programming in general a long time. See how you want this gold to go back in the moment this leaves? That saves us quite a lot of time. Okay, so this is now good. And we drop it off. Good to go. Now we let it run. See how much time we save. And listen to that awesome clap, 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 clap. And that one, that's just a little bit different. Okay. We beat our previous best by 1 whole cycle. Oh. Such a tiny 0.5% difference. Less than 0.5% difference. But every cycle's a cycle. Every cycle gained is a good one. So now we have Rumpelstiltskin -1. Okay, so now for the fun part. So we definitely need one of these. We've only got 2 ingredients. So we might be able to get away with just 1 regular arm. I don't know. This is going to be a bit rough. Like, how much track would I need to get the job done? Because if I need more than just a little bit of back and forth, this probably isn't worth it. But a little bit of back and forth might be all we need. Okay, for the sake of easy resets, I'm going to start it on the salt, despite immediately going to the gold. Oh, well... No, we still might be able to pull it off. Which metric do you guys concentrate on? Right now, I'm just getting through the story mode. I usually go for speed first, and then cost, and then size. But, again, not always. Okay, so. And then we reset. We grab ourselves a salt. We push ourselves over. And then we come back 3. We release it. We push back, we grab the gold, and we rotate. And then we reset. Let's make sure that does what we think it does. Brilliant. We did that 5 more times. Now, I don't know how possible this is, because we might be able to shift it around just using shimmies, but it'll likely end up binding it in ways that we don't want. So we might need to bring it to a second work area. But that worked surprisingly well. Okay, so we probably don't need the last shift, grab, and rotate. But yeah, there's no way this one's going to be as long as the one that used gold. Like, to make the gold, no way. Okay, so we're here, going to there. If we rotate with this salt, it'll bind across one of these. So we probably want to avoid that if possible, but I don't see any other options. Okay, so we cannot rotate it while it's here. So if we want to reposition it, we need to do it somewhere else. So let's bring it back here and see whether or not we're able to get it into a reasonable position from here. Okay, so now that we have it here, if we back up and grab it here, push it back, and pull it over, we would need to rotate it one more, I think. So, release, back up, grab, push, rotate, bring it back, and drop it. Most likely reset. But yeah, the growth of developing the gold from the lead was... it expands quite a bit every time. This one, you're just putting on that many things, and then you're done. Not nearly enough things to cause as much trouble as that. So bring it back, release, pull back, grab. Oh, right, we can't push. We need to push. I always get those two pushes confused because I call them both push. And it causes problems. I mean, not tons of problems, but problems. Pull, back up, grab, forward, rotate, bring it back. Okay. Is that a direction we need? No. But now, if we rotate it one more, it would be. Unfortunately, that's not where we want it. Because now we can't get the salt into the right position. So we need to find a way of having it face the other way. Can we make that happen? So instead of rotating it out, we rotate it back. And we don't push it further out. Is there a way to step the machine backwards? Not that I know of. It would be very handy, wouldn't it? So we don't have to wait through this entire first bit. There we are. That's what we needed. Okay. Progress. So now we grab a thing, push it over, bring it back. Now, I don't know if we'll be able to continue from here the way we need to, though. Do away with rotation, just move backward. Ah, indeed I can. Good call. Sometimes I just don't see these things. Because the problem was I was thinking initially that we wanted to put it over here, and then I found out later, no, that's a terrible idea. There we go. Yep, anchoring with the thought process. It's hard to shake yourself out of something you're thinking. Except when you want to keep thinking it. And then it's super easy. There we go. Now, I'm thinking we should build the entire second loop before trying to... Oh. Now we run into a problem that I'm not certain we can escape with this current setup. Because we can't rotate this towards us to bind it in this direction. So we would need to rotate it out, but somehow get this guy in there. And I think if this is here, pulling it around will hit right here. But we need to test it. So what we're going to do is we're going to rotate it that way. We'll reset, grab, and then just swing it around. We'll see. I do love trying to get these one-arm solutions. Like one, not even a piston solutions. Because now the pistons cost 40 and the arms cost 20. So an arm with 2-track is cheaper than a piston. Even 3-track is cheaper. Okay, so it grabs 1, 2, moment of truth. Kabonk! Ugh. That hurts. Hurts so much. Oh yeah, we can slide out of the way of the gold. Brilliant! Easy, you're a genius. Plus, and then we're still coming to the back, so it is 3 of them. Wait. But we still need it in this position. Brilliant! Playing Mind of Isaac wasted 1 Polyphemus third eye start on greed mode. Oh no! What a waste! At least it wasn't greedier. Greedier wastes are even worse. Okay, so now we attach that, rotate it, let it go, grab it, shift. Oh, that's why. Because the moment you pull out of it, it reappears and you can't go through it. And you can't hit it there, so if we want to do this, we need to put this over here. Oh no! My alarm! I forgot to change it! But not here. We want it here. Because then we can... wait a minute. If we have it here, we pull it, we shift, and then we rotate. Okay, now we have to fix all of our previous code. And yes, I am thoroughly random and haphazard when resetting my code like this. Really? You're just going to throw it into the abyss like that, game? You know I need those. Okay. Also need to reset the gold instructions because they are off by 1. Brilliant. Let's grab all of that, shift by 1. This, shift by 1. Probably have noticed that prior to shifting everything else. Wait. What? Curses. Because it was messed up, the reset was messed up. Okay, let's make sure it does what it's supposed to first. Okay. Okay, now this last one. Grab. Left. Plus. Left. Left. So left plus left, left. Minus left. So now we can probably add it to either side, and it's just a matter of programming our way to victory. Except, there's always a problem. Ugh. Yes, we are going for cheap. Man, that's a bummer. We can add one more track. Right, but is it really going to be able to sneak this guy past that guy once he's here? It's worth a shot. I mean, we're gonna do it. Okay, so we move it. Move it. Bring this in. We don't reset. We drop it. It's in the plus position. So we need to be plus, left, grab, right. And we see what we get. Because it's still hard for me to wrap my head around which maneuvers will work, which ones are commutative, and which ones are not. Because I'm anticipating this guy right here hitting him when he's here. But he doesn't. That's the weirdest mumbo jumbo in the world. That doing this guy in that way hits, but doing this guy in from way downtown doesn't. Everything's fine. Great. We're not going to reset just yet. We're going to move minus, grab it, and shift it over one. Then we're going to reset. And then we're going to do another one of these. And then, just for fun, rotate it to get the last bind. Don't know if it's going to work, but it's worth a shot. Okay, so grab the thing, we bring it in, spin it, remove it. Will this always work? Probably. And we do a weird fandango to bring that guy in. Grab it, slam it, move back, shift it over. Grab this guy, do another fandango. Attaches it there. Why are you letting go? Because I told you to let go. Why would I tell you to let go? I'm an idiot. But that should work. And then we just need to do more finagling to get it into the right position for the next segment of that type. Except that is the next segment of that type. So if we really want to do what we've been doing, we shouldn't bring this guy in from the left. But since we have this to work with, it'll make it easier to bring it in from the left from here on out. Because we'll just swing this guy back, push him over, and keep going. So then we just rotate it back 2, shift it over 1. Okay, so it was pointing that way. We want it pointing this way, which is good. And then we push it over by 1. And we reset. Pretty sure. Debugging is fun! Fun, I tell you. Okay, I don't want to go in that fast yet. I want to keep an eye on it. And there we are. We're ready for the next one. Okay, now... Now let's just do the next one, and then we'll start looping. So, left side. Placement. Good night, Ulrich. Thanks for being here. Hope you enjoyed your stay, and happy birthday again. Just so everybody who showed up later knows it's your birthday. So that brings it in. Shabam. And I know I could probably program more of it, but right now I just want to make sure it's doing what I think it's doing. We can do copy and paste later. Shift. Grab another. Rotate back. Shift. Now, right. So we have to bring it out and swing it back. Right. So we take it out. Bring the thing in. Drop it off. We're in the minus position. So over plus grab. Swing. Wait. Yes. We swing it back after that's done. Yeah. We know. Go faster. Swing it out. Bring the thing in. Swing it back. Push it. Bring it in. Flip. And back. And again. And push it. And swing it. Release. Grab the next one. Bring it in. Push. Grab. Bring it back. Release. Minus. Grab. Plus. And we are now ready for the next one, which should be this right here. So let's run this. Make sure it does exactly what we expect. And then we should be able to copy both of those into the future. And if we can't, I'll need to take a screenshot and copy it by hand. And now we're resetting. Brilliant. Now, can I grab both? No, they are too big. But the beginning part is the same. So it's not too bad. So we grab a new thing. After we have grabbed the new thing, instead of drop, what do you do? We go left, right, right, plus left. Left, right, right, plus left. Reset. Then we grab a thing. Drop left plus grab. Drop left plus grab. Right drop minus grab. Right drop minus grab. Right drop minus grab. Plus reset. Whew! Here's hoping I read it properly. And if I didn't, oh well. That is kind of part of the fun of the game. Causing errors and then fixing them. Okay, now we move it over. We grab the next one. Flip, back, one more, push, swing, drop. Grab the next one. And we attach it. And we're just shift away from a reset. How many hours do I have? That is a good question. 85. Okay, so it's looking pretty good. We've done a decent amount. And we just do it again and again. So grab left, right, right, plus left. Left, right, right, plus left. Left, right, right, plus left. Reset. And then the next part is madness. So, okay. Drop left plus grab. Drop left plus grab. Right drop minus grab. Right drop minus grab. Right drop minus grab. Right drop minus grab plus reset. It's a lot for someone who hasn't finished the campaign. Yeah, I work towards optimality from the very beginning. What you've seen here, where I just give up on something before it's optimal, is not normal for me. But I know I shouldn't spend the entire stream optimizing one or two things. And I get distracted by various things and accidentally leave it running when I go to sleep, things like that. Okay. And let's do it again. Do that. Left, right, right, plus left. That's not plus. Left. Reset. Grab, drop. Drop left plus. Drop left plus. Grab. Right drop minus grab. Right drop minus grab. And then it's just plus reset. I don't know if that's enough, but we'll see. And there are also times where I just put one of the puzzles on and listen to it because I like how it sounds. Yeah, let's just let it go. Okay, gonna need another set, and we should be good. I can use shift, but the problem is you can't move it. Like, you can't bring it off the screen and make it move. And the scroll wheel is up and down. To move this, you have to right-click and drag it, which you can't do while you're dragging one of those, and it's just a big old mess. I don't think you can use... Nope, can't use the arrows. It's just kind of annoying. Okay, so we grab another one of these. Left, right, left. Plus? Plus left. Reset. Grab another. Shift scroll does work. So can we grab this and shift scroll? We cannot grab it and... Oh, yeah, we can. Oh, that's gonna... Oh. That is complicated, but totally works. Okay, so we grab this. And we hold down Control, let go of Control, hold down Shift, and scroll, and drop. Whew! Tech 2 really good for Kane? Why is it so good for Kane? Yeah, that's going to be a godsend on some of these puzzles where you've just got code for days and you want to copy. And here's hoping I'm actually making the right shape. Because it'd be real embarrassing to work on something this long and then realize it's not the right configuration. Like, there have been a lot of times where I've been trying to make the fastest solution. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, you don't have the half laser, half tears, just lasers. Silly Kane in his one eye. Okay, so now we've got trouble with capital T, which rhymes with P, which stands for pool. I mean, we can solve it. We can solve it with one more track. We spend 5 Gs. We solve the problem. Is there a way to solve the problem without spending 5 Gs? Because if we rotate it and bring it back in, it'll be bonded in the wrong direction. Try getting both of those at the same time. Might be possible. I mean, it would change our entire program, but that is fine so long as it works. Yeah, I see what you mean. I'm just wondering whether or not it will actually help. Because we'll still run into a little bit of potential problem with this guy right here running into it when it's here. So having this guy trying to come back here and hitting that one. It's a better angle, so it could be okay. Come in from the back. Not entirely certain what you mean, because we can't extend this arm at all. Possibly rotate it slightly different, grab onto this guy and pull it in that way. We'll probably run into that guy. But yeah, the extra track is still better than a piston, but for the sake of optimality, I would like to see if we can avoid using it. So if we had this guy right here positioned here somehow, we're not entirely certain how yet. We would need it facing this way to be able to slam it in properly. So it would be here. No, we would grab it on this side, but from here, no, can't do that. Position structure correctly. Ch-ch-chang. And then rotate orb clockwise from above. It'll hit right here. Kabang. Or else we'd have been doing that this whole time. You can't have something right here and bring the thing in from here. Or else we'd have been doing that this entire time and wouldn't have had any problems at all. I really wish we could just grab it and pull it from here to here. That, I would love to do that. That would be fantastic. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. Okay, so let's get back to thinking about other ways of getting it in here. Because we can't bind it to this guy, because then our structure would be overlapping our arm. We can get it down here somewhere and then pull it back in. It just doesn't work. Can we get this guy here and then approach it from this side? Well, it might be the same problem, but let's see. Let's see. Where can we get things? Okay, so yeah, because if that was here and we were trying to pull this guy, he would have to have started here, facing like this. Might be able to do it. Give it a shot. So this is the part where we do the final bond, bring it back, and then this is where we position it. So we get rid of all of this. So it's now adequately bonded. So it was facing that way, then it's facing this way, and then we bring it back. Such that the next place for it to bond is here. Okay. So shift it over. Will leave me unable to grab it here. So instead, we rotate it, we shift it. That's a lot of weird maneuvering to try to get that done. Well, let's run it, make sure it ends up where I think it ends up. Because it'd be really embarrassing if I write code and it's not actually where I think it is. Because we've already had that happen a couple of times this puzzle. So let's get this thing going. The other problem is most likely we're going to run into the same exact problem approaching it from the left. So we will likely need to recode it using these two simultaneously. Yeah, because even if we do manage to do it, anything that we do is going to still involve swinging this whole thing in at that angle. Whether it's from this direction or that direction, it's going to be the same problem. So instead of doing this last bit, we'll swing it out, build this part, and then swing it back. So we swing it out, reset. We're going to grab from the left because the thing's going to be in the way. And we'll bring it over by 1. Then we grab second one, rotate it 2, drop it. We're in the minus position. So where were we when we dropped it off? We were in the plus position. So plus, grab, slam. So that should be an almost completed thing. It will be missing 1 bond. It's probably more efficient to be doing that from the beginning, but we'll see. This solution is not about efficiency. It's about 1 arm and 2 tracks. And I just love the little jig that it does going back and forth every time it brings one of those in. And there we are. Okay, so we're missing 2 bonds. 1 here, 1 there. So we come back here, we wiggle, and then we wiggle back and shift it over, and then shift it over again. Okay, so we drop it, we minus, we grab, we wiggle, twice. And then we're in the minus, so we plus, we release, minus, grab, plus. And then we swing it to the left. So it has a middle bit from here. So we need a middle bit right here. No middle bits right there. What angle is this going to be at? This direction becomes that direction, so middle bit right here means that. Probably. Oh, wait, we need to reset. Reset. Woo! Let's see what we got. I love these low-cost solutions, though, because it takes so much finagling and so much patience, because at so many points we could have just been like, no, just add the third track. Add the third track, man. It's not going to work. Just add the third track. Use a piston. And back and forth and back and forth and shabam, bam. And it worked. Now we just sit back, relax, and it might take as long as my purified gold solution. Was not expecting it to take quite so long, but there's a lot of steps getting that salt into place with the wiggling back and forth. A lot of waggle dancing going on. Like, I would love to watch the GIF of this such that you can see the whole thing and see all of the waggle dancing going on. So this might break my record for longest reasonably efficient solution. I don't know. Having 3 already done by 900, I don't think we're going to make it. I think we're going to be short. Yeah, close. Certainly close. You broke the global record on the health tonic? For area. That's pretty cool. I remember the health tonic being really annoying for that. And not feeling confident that mine was, in fact, the smallest solution. Because there were several unused hexes, and I don't like unused hexes in my size solutions. Like this one, the size... man, there's so much to consider when trying to shrink this one down. Because sure, you can assemble quite a lot of it, like at least a decent amount of it over the exit. But, whew, it's a lot of joints going in a lot of directions. Couple scores aren't updated, though. You have one guy that's most of the levels done with a fixed arm, maybe without tracks. Yeah, a lot of these you can get with just the one arm. Now that the tracks are cheaper than the pistons, that will likely change a lot of things. Okay, now the moment of truth. What do we call it? Because 1684 wasn't nearly as good a year as 1799. Does anyone know anything that happened in 1684? I'm curious. What happened in... Oh, why do I have caps lock on? What happened in 1684? Apparently, Edmund Halley, Christopher Wren, and Robert Hooke had a conversation in which Hooke claimed not only to have derived the inverse square law, but also the laws of planetary motion. Newton derived Kepler's law from his theory of gravity. Kind of boring. Carl Eusebius, Prince of Liechtenstein, dies. Mark Antonio Justinian is elected Doge of Venice. I think I'll name it Hooke. Because I already have a video on Hooke's Law, so seems appropriate. Okay, good job timing, Crystal. We shall return to you eventually. Voltaic coil, because you can't use the word Tesla. Never thought alchemy particularly dangerous before, but I see now why it has was once so feared. It's an alarmingly powerful art. It's a good reason alchemists must be licensed before they can practice. Would you consider yourself licensed at the moment? That's a special circumstance. Well, rates, we should be dead, so I doubt it matters now. So what's our Tesla coil look like? Madness! Wow. That's cool. And you can't even build one up top and one on the bottom and just slam them in because you've only got one lead source to work with. Interesting. But it's a common thread down the middle. You just have to alternate whether or not you salt the fire. Barber bowl indeed. Let's see. So you're going to want one of these here for binding the chain to your next result. Which means you're going to need to bond the lead beforehand. And unfortunately, you're going to need to bond something before that. So we're going to put our lead here. We're going to push, and we're going to rotate. Can I put what in the gaps? because there will be no gaps in through here. They're just going to push all the way through. Okay, now the trick becomes making some of them salt and some of them not. Thinking fit the left binders in closer. Well, the trouble is you need one here-ish. You need one in the middle, so you cannot do both of these at the same time. This you could do all at once, in theory. But if you were to multi-bind, then you'd likely end up with a chain of bound lead. And that's also not great. So, we're going to need to take fire from here to there, using potentially 2 different paths. So we're likely to put it here and use pistons on tracks. The question becomes, do we take it the whole way? Probably not. We'll likely grab it here and bring it over. I'll save the final optimization until later. So we'll just have that. So this will grab it and move it too, which is not great, but okay. And then we'll put this guy here. And so depending on whether or not it pushes then moves or moves then pushes will determine if it's fire or not. Pyromaniac on Ultra Greedier. Yeah, Greedier goes a whole lot more smoothly with Pyro. Okay, so is that going to be good enough? Don't know. Let's just give it a try. So 3, grab, push, plus, drop, and then needs 3 more pluses. It's an 8 cycle, so that's good. Good. Now we copy and paste. We swap these 2. This guy is going to be 3 from the start. 1, 2, 3. Oh, but we need to retract. Curses. Curses. Can we do it better? Well, instead of sharing a track, we could have them be separate from one another. Okay. So 3 instead. Grab. Push. Grab. Plus, plus. And then 1 more plus. And then we duplicate them. Let's see. 5 is the one that's actually in position. 4 is not supposed to have things at all. There we go. Alcaro? I don't know. Might be someone's name. Which one is theoretically first? Red is theoretically first. So that is good. We will need 4 to grab it and take it away. So lead, grab. Does 4 have it now? It does. Good. So once we get the top working, it'll be good. Get a company name. Interesting. So lead here. Again with the fire. We want fire second. So we will calcify first. How about a track here, over and down? And then for the other one, we just grab it and move it. So number 8 is going to be second. First is grab plus plus. That's not going to be good timing if we're pulling it every other. Unless whatever pulls it out of the way can do it soon. So number 9. So grab, push, grab, push, drop. Oh, right. Because this lead isn't even there yet. So we need to wait for that lead. Wait a minute. Why do we have 2 of these and only 1 of those? That's real annoying. So that means we need to hold back on our production by quite a bit. So we don't even need number 6, because this loop, I mean, it doesn't need to happen very often. It's got time. Alcaro and Alcaro plating. Alcaro plastics. Okay, so we need 4 ticks to even be able to make the lead. And so it takes 4 ticks between each of these fires. So the difference between 3 and 5 should be 4. And the difference between 1 and 2 should be 2. The difference between 6 and 7 should be 4. And so the loop size should be 8. Okay, and we do the lead twice per loop. Okay, and then 4 needs to go at the bottom because it's the one that takes it in. And so this bit arrives at the end of 7. So here. So that's 1, 2, 3, and drop it. And then we go 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll have to duplicate some things because of this annoyingness over here. Unless we have this go a small distance and then something else take it in. That seems fairly reasonable. So we use this to get it out of the way. We just move it 1, and we drop it there. Then we add another track here to take it in. It's not going to be right there. It's going to be right here. Grab it. 1, 2. We'll have it in that position, but to gain 1 lonely cycle, we'll do that. Oh, grab too early. And for some reason, that's going sooner than anticipated. Let's see how that happened. Wait. Move. Why is 8 not moving? Oh, because 8 doesn't have a bonus cycle. Ah, that's going to be a problem. Go get some food. Sounds good. Yeah, the stream should be ending soon, so see you next time or the time after or whenever you're actually able to make it. Like that. Brilliant. Absolute madness, but it totally works. Oh, and I love the music. That is a great way to send us off. They probably don't need to both do the shimmy, but yeah. Yeah, I imagine people who don't go for cycles might have already given up by this point, but it also might not be that hard to get into that bin, and we might be right at the bottom of that bin, and so other people might have a solution to this that takes 68 or 69 cycles. Because that optimization right there at the end doesn't add a whole lot. Like, doesn't gain you a whole lot of cycles. And I don't think it would be too bad to get this at a fairly reasonable speed. And yeah, creating too much of this does end up slowing down your machine a bit. Nice. Imagine, though, if ordinary people could use alchemical engineering in the service of their own well-being. Not at all certain that would go well. Besides, even an alchemist can't reverse the momentum of the world. If it were a group of alchemists, all working to the same end, things could change dramatically. Perhaps, but I very much doubt you could get two alchemists to agree on anything, let alone many of them. So, what should we call this lovely solution? What do we see? Oh, I know what I see. Do you see what I see? Also, I tend not to name it after the product. I tend to name it after the machine. Quack, quack, quack. Sit thee. Thank you for accepting my duck. I almost see the running man. I see the little speed lines there. Which, to be fair, gives me a slightly better idea than my previous one. My original idea was peacock, because you got the little bird-like head up here, bird-like puffy chest here. But it might actually be better as a roadrunner, because of the speed lines. Still got the bird head, still got the bird poof, but with the speed lines by the feet, little blurry circle of feet, foofy tail, totally a roadrunner. So yeah, 61 cycles for that's pretty good. We'll probably be able to compress it down a bit. Probably not a ton. But yeah, the cost, like all those tracks and arms and insanity. Whereas with some good twists, you might be able to do this with just an arm. Because you only need the fire and lead, an arm and a track, maybe a piston. The difficulty will be the binding of these without binding across. The area of just the arm will be through the roof. I've got a couple of those where it swings the infinite thing around. Is it this one? 370 area. No, this doesn't feel bad. Oh, right, because it wasn't opening the right one. So yeah, This one has an absurd amount of area. Because it just swings it all over the place. Now, I didn't try to do this one with an arm and a track. An arm and a track might be enough. That change just totally changes the meta on how to get things as cheap as possible. Because you can do most of the things that you can do with piston with an arm and a track. Okay, so let's check out the last couple of puzzles. Okay. Triple bonds in the middle. Some salts on the outside. Only fires to work with. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's going to be really annoying. Trying to optimize this when there are 10 of them but 2 inputs. We're going to have to do a strange rerouting sort of thing. Yeah, and these triple bonds in the middle. Well, yeah, nightmare. That one's going to be a little rough. And then Curious Lipstick. Yeah, I'd love the sounds of the various solutions. Oh, I could do a Steam Workshop thing right now. I just haven't been because I want to get to the global leaderboards. Glyph of Disposal! Where disposed atoms go is poorly understood, and a matter of some debate among theorists. That is such a big garbage disposal. So you spend 7 area to keep you from needing infinite area. Because with all of these deaths, you have a life that you don't use. And green and red are next to each other, so that's kind of handy. Getting life and death, you use one of these, and you drop a salt on each side, and it gives you one of each. So, yeah. Steam Engine was in this one. So you see how you drop the 2 salts, you get life and death. And here we are making a rather Steam Engine sort of noise. This is another great one to just sit and listen to when you're trying to get work done. Love it. But that's the extent of Chapter 5 that I have access to. So we're likely to have 3 more puzzles and a bit of story, possibly 2 more things of story and 2 more puzzles. But I'll need to beat both of these before I can unlock them, and I'm already over time by 8 minutes. But that's okay. We had tons of people here watching. We got a lot of good work done. And once I'm done with these, I do want to go into the workshop. There are tons of puzzles in the workshop, and there's this journal where they give you 5 puzzles that these, I think, came with the game just to introduce this journal, but they add them more frequently than Isaac adds booster packs, where I believe these were user submitted. And so they grabbed some that were similarly themed. So in this case, sailing. And then they just released this one, I think, today or yesterday, rather recently. So this one, I mean, look at that madness. It's symmetrical, like rotationally symmetrical. This guy is really pretty. This one, sure. This one, gorgeous. I love the way this guy looks. This one, weird and cool. Oh, yeah, we need to listen to that garbage disposal. You don't have the garbage disposal. I don't think you have it either. You have the garbage disposal. Yes, we know. So let's get rid of this. Let's put this down. Let's put this down. We don't need both inputs, but we do need the output. Grab, right, drop. Okay. And so we grab this. And we put this here. And we grab one of these. Okay, we're ending Dragon, so feel free to go. I just wanted to hear what this sounded like. Oh, right, you don't have enough volume, do ya? There you go. Just throwing salt into the bin. Total destruction. Now we could destroy it faster. Like we could have put the salt here. Let me get back in the game. Put the salt here. And get full speed salt destruction. It's speeding up. Love it. Yeah, the smoke coming off of it. And the fact that this ring just stays there, it just kind of shifts around a bit. Okay, now I'm actually going to go. Thank you all for being here. I had a blast. I really enjoy this game quite a lot. I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. I am releasing daily videos where I'm just showing what I've done at the point that I record the video. They're not guaranteed to be optimal, but they're what I feel is a good way of approaching the problems. I address the things that I learn as I go because there are things that I learn along the way where I learn how to shave a cycle off here and there, learning about cycles, learning about these tools. And it says Oberon Berke. So Oberon, King of the Fairies, and then Berke, I don't know. But yes, thank you for being here. I do put out videos on this. I'm trying to keep it daily, so I need to record another one tonight. I'll go through the full story mode in those videos, but I also want to keep doing things with the journal and just random things that are in the workshop. And I'll likely want to build my own puzzles as well, because it is really fun. And yeah, I stream 6:30, usually to 8:30, on 2 of the 3 Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays of a week. So generally not all 3, but I rarely know if I'll be able to do Monday and Wednesday, or Wednesday and Friday, or Monday and Friday. And Tuesdays, I have a multiplayer stream with Frog and George, and sometimes Yogurt, at 8 o'clock. And all of these times are Eastern time. I think that's everything I need to say. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next live stream or video of Opus Magnum or The Binding of Isaac or who knows what, with light.